What we're going to be doing here is I'm going to show you how we do our injections, what I put in the injection. We got flies trying to get on my meat here. Okay, let me see here. Trying to get it set up so I can view the comments. Let me just cover this meat, try to get this set up. We got 51 people in here so far, that's cool. Hey James in Colorado, how you doing, man? Thanks for viewing. And everybody else that's on here too. So I think there's like a little 30-second delay. I'm gonna give people just a minute to get on here. We got 52 on here right now. I started the smoker up a few hours ago. That way it's all humming along at 225. The heat's nice and distributed evenly along. All the metal's all heated up. After I'm done, I'm gonna I'll post this recipe. It's real simple. I don't get all extravagant with my injections, but I'll tell you, whoever's on here right now, it has 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of Worcestershire, 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, and about a cup and a half of chicken stock. I didn't come up with this on my own. I actually got this recipe off AmazingRibs.com. That's a great website. You can really actually learn a ton of information on there about grilling, smoking. It's the science of cooking is what they go by. They don't just do things and wing it. They actually look at the science behind how the meat breaks down. Anyway, you can learn a lot of stuff off their website. I know a lot of people that do. Anyway, all right, we have 60-some people in here. We have Aaron from Oklahoma, Alex, Stubbs, yeah, I use Stubbs charcoal. Also use the Kingsford brick competition. I don't use the blue bag. You know, I just don't like it. I don't like the way they process it. Competition, that's all natural. And then I use roll oak lump. I use cowboy lump. You know, I use a whole array of different charcoals. It kind of depends on what I'm doing. But today, I'm using Stubbs in my Stumps smoker. So, all right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I use the perforated needle, okay, because I don't have anything chunky in my marinade. And really, you just stick it in. Now, we've had people contact us because after they put the marinade in the needle, they said, oh, the marinade runs out. And when they do that, it's because they're filling it from the top. Okay, when you do that, you don't get an airlock. So you have it completely together. You draw it up in there and see it doesn't run out. It has an airlock in it. Okay, so from here, what you want to do, I know I see people, they kind of stick it all over the place, but what you want to do whenever you inject pretty much most meat, you want to go in through the sides, okay? And now the bone is over here. So then another question that we get a lot is because the marinade runs out. It's okay if it runs out. Most of it's staying in. So you don't really have to worry about that. But you can see how it puffs up as you're injecting. Okay? And you just kind of move around. You can see it swelling up. See, and it just brings a little leak every now and then. And that's okay. Now what you don't do, you do not save your marinades if you're sticking the needle in it. okay, because that's contaminating it. It kind of depends on how big your meat is, whether on how much marinade you want to put in. I know there's a ratio out there. I don't know what it is. I just put as much in there as it can handle. When it starts leaking out all over the place, I know that's plenty. So you can see that thing pumping up. It's humid here in Louisiana today, so these flies are out. All right. We're not going to get too much more in here. Okay, also, whenever you have the holes, you got to keep tipping it. That's another issue. People sometimes have a hard time trying to figure out what to do. You know, and there's different ways you can do it. You can actually use the slant tip needle to fill it up and then swap needles if that's what you want to do, but I don't go through all that trouble. I just tip the cup, draw it out. I mean, we're already pretty much at what it's going to hold. Squirting out stuff all over the place now. All right, so at that, just kind of let it sit for maybe a couple minutes. I know some people, they wrap it in cellophane, throw it in the refrigerator overnight. I don't really do all that. And I'm gonna tell you, every one of my pork butts turn out great. I think it's almost impossible to mess up a pork butt. Almost. They have so much fat in it. I'll tell you one thing that some people do that I don't do. The fat cap on the bottom, I do not trim it down. I'll leave it just however it comes from the butcher. And I know one thing that's controversial with some people, whether you do fat cap up or fat cap down when you're smoking it. I do fat cap down. That way, when the heat comes up, it helps protects it, keeps it from drying out. All my pork butts are nice and juicy. I know you have people in competitions like Myron Mixon. You know, he actually flips his, so he goes up and down. So really, it all depends on what you want to do. I don't think there's really any right or wrong way. It's however you want to do it. That's the whole thing with barbecue, smoking, grilling. It's however you want to do it, however you enjoy yourself. And as long as the food turns out good, all your friends and family like it, then that's the way you should be doing it. All right, I'll let that sit for a couple minutes. I'm just going to transfer it to another pan. Now, at this point, a lot of people, they rub mustard on it. Here, let me check something real quick. All right. So, a lot of people rub mustard on it. I don't do that. Some seasonings actually need an oil base to help it break down. So I pretty much always, not 100% of the time, probably 80-90% of the time, I rub it down with vegetable oil or olive oil. So I'm just going to pour some on it, rub it down. Okay, you don't really need a lot. Okay, now at this point we're almost ready. All right, here's my rub. Use whatever rub you want. This rub actually has salt, pepper, onion, garlic, paprika, and chipotle. So it's pretty simple. I just start. I give it a nice, good coating. You know, this is on the bottom. I still coat it because when we start mixing it, a lot of the seasoning's going to be into that fat. So flip this bad boy over, and I make sure you get it all in these crevices. You want to take, if it has a crevice, I kind of try to pull it open a little bit, make sure it gets seasoning on there. I open that up. Now, what some people also do, some people actually add seasoning to their brine. I don't do that. I like the way I do it. So the bark on the outside, you get a lot of good seasoning with it, and then when you shred it up, it all mixes together. You got a little bit different textures, different flavors. But you know what I mean? That's, again, that's just a personal preference. You do it however you want to do it. As you can see, this thing is coated really nice. I got another like crevice right here. So I want to make sure I get it in there. So if you notice, I've been trying to keep this hand uncontaminated. That way I can grab things, you know, and maybe even touch my computer if I need to. Really, that's pretty much it, man. That's how easy it is. And what I'm going to do is, this thing is just under 7 pounds. It's a little bit small for me. Usually I do 8, 9, 10 pound butts. But this one, I'm going to put it on here in about 10 minutes. I'm going to let it sit for a minute. We always cook by temperature, but you can always figure about an hour and a half per pound. So this thing should be done about 6, 7 o'clock tonight. We're going to pull it off. I'm going to do another live feed, and we're going to pull it apart, and we're going to shred it. I'm going to show you how to do my shredding. Some people seem to not understand why you would shred it with claws. There's actually a couple of reasons. One, just to get a little bit of a different texture. It cuts it all down and helps it mix together a lot better for to mix the outside bark into with the inside. It depends on how you're eating it. If you're eating it on soft taco shells, you know, it works out better if you shred it, in my opinion. You might not like to shred. I like to shred. Anyway, dude, leave your comments if you have questions. If you like this, share it, please. Like it. If you have an idea for a live feed, something that you want to learn, or just something you want to see how we do it, let me know, and I'll do a live feed on it. And we'll do a video, whatever it takes to make sure people know how to you know, learn something new every day. That's it, man. Let me go and see if I can see if we have any comments or questions here. Mark wanted to know if there's any benefit to doing an injection and placing the butt in the marinade bath. I mean, I guess this is going to be a matter of opinion. In my opinion, that would be no. You know, part of the reason you're doing your injection is you get everything on the inside. Whenever you soak meat in a bath, it doesn't have a whole lot of penetration. So, so in my opinion, that'd be a no. You know, especially if you're putting a rub on the outside, that's really, you know, you're getting kind of like 2 different flavors going on. So you're adding flavor and adding moisture on the inside with your marinade, and then you're adding a different flavor on the outside with your rub. George wants to know if I've ever done ostrich meat. No, I have not, man. I have not. Hey, look, you know, I know a lot of people here are part of barbecue groups. There's, I don't know, there's tons of them. And I know some of them are really great groups. But I got a buddy of mine that started a group. His name is Dave. He started a group, I guess a year or 2 ago. It's called Boss Barbecue Club. You guys ought to check that out. Everybody in there is helpful. Everybody's friendly. Nobody's going to cut you down for asking what might seem to be a silly question to some people. So I encourage you to check that out, because I know sometimes, let me see, same with birth. No Neighbor, he asks if you do the same thing with brisket. Yeah, I'll pretty much do the exact same thing with brisket. I inject it, I rub it down on the outside, I always inject through the sides, and hold on, my phone's got a message on it again. Let me get rid of that. But yeah, so yeah, it's pretty much the same. Again, I leave a pretty good fat cap on the bottom to help protect it from the heat coming up, and I trim off the top pretty good because you want to get a nice bark on it. Let me see. Do you rub the fat cap? Yeah. Zach, you came in late, dude. But yeah, I do the fat cap too. As you can see, I have rub on the fat cap, and like I was saying earlier, I do my fat cap down. I know some people do it up. They think the fat's going to seep into the meat that way. My opinion, it does not do it like that. But again, that's my opinion. You do it however you want to do it. But yeah, I rub everything down, everything, every little crevice. And as you can see, it's soaking into the meat nice. This is going to be a good piece of meat later. All right, Brian, thanks a lot, man. Okay, yeah, let me go over this injection again. Look, if you've ever gotten one of our injections, we actually send you these recipes. If you, dude, all you gotta do is send me an email. I'll send you what, if you ask me a question, I'll send you the answer. But this one has 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, and about 1.5 cups of chicken stock. Not chicken broth, chicken stock. But you could actually use, dude, I've seen people use beef stock, apple juice, all that. Actually, there's something else that I don't do. I know a lot of people do, is I do not spritz my meat. When I put it in the smoker, I don't open that smoker up. I know I used to do the apple juice spritz on it and all that kind of stuff. I really don't mess around with that anymore. That's just me. But, everybody has their own opinion on that stuff. For me, I didn't find where I really added any actual flavor. I get a good bark on mine the way I do it. So I don't see any reason to do it. Let me see if we have any more questions here. Did you ever inject apple cider vinegar? Yeah, you could. Yeah, you can use apple cider vinegar in your brine, dude. There's no problem with that. And that was from Anthony. I hope everybody can hear me okay. It's the first time I've ever set the phone up on a tripod and tried to do it that way. It just seems to be easier. George, you're welcome, man. Let me see. Look into the ostrich meat, gator. I was in South Africa. Okay, apparently George, he's in South Africa visiting his in-laws. And he's talking about doing gator, ostrich, and wildebeest. That would be interesting. I know there's some dudes in that Boss Barbecue Club. They do wild boar and stuff like that, man. We got some really good people in there. All right, look. I need to get this in the smoker here in a couple minutes. And like I said, we're going to be back on about probably between 6 and 7 p.m. Central Time today, Monday the 16th. We're going to pull this thing out of the smoker and shred it up, man. And if you have any questions at that time, I'll be more than happy to answer. Again, if you have ideas or things you want to know, or just, I don't know, things you want to see us do, send me a message, and dude, I'll do it. That's it. Thanks for joining us, and again, share this, like it, You can still continue posting questions, and I'll look at them later on, and I'll answer them. And that's it, man. Y'all have a good day, and grow on.